we'll wait for a few people to get in here. I'm just kicking it in the kitchen. I made dinner. Look at that. We gotta let it cool for a little bit. Actually, I probably should put that on the timer. Maybe 15 minutes. It's pretty hot. I got some gravy package in there, so I wanted to set up, but I've already did a little taste test. I won't lie. You guys are gonna have to wait for a second. I'll be back. What are you doing? Hi, pretty girl. Well, I hope everybody is doing well. I'm here. I just realized that I'm almost out of my drink, so you're going to have to even wait even longer because I got to go get me a drink. In a few more days, in a few more days, in a few more days. Oh, it's nice to, oh wow, I stepped away for a second and we come back and we have 102 people in here. Hi, everybody. It's nice to see you. Car Guy, Mr. and Mrs. Car Guy. Did you guys see my title? It was inspired by Mr. and Mrs. Car Guy. I have to be honest with you. It was inspired by Mr. and Mrs. Car Guy. Look at this. This looks so good. Got to set just a little bit. Look what I made. Baked chicken. Dun, 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 dun. Look at all that. Yum, yum, yum to my tum, tum, tum. That's going to be some good eating right there. I hope everybody's having a great night. We're just here shooting it. You know what? We would do this on the crime story side, but to be honest with you, I haven't been over there today. I need to get over there. Maybe later tonight I'll get over there and do, I don't know, something from the bed. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But today was eventful. Ren, I love you. Thank you for the snake boots. If you guys don't know, Ren sponsored the snake boots, and those were huge. You know, we've been waiting for those snake boots for a really long time. So blessed to have gotten snake boots, but I got the wrong size. It was my fault. I put the wrong size on the Amazon wish list. So the snake boots have already been, but I had to send them back. So once I get the refund into the account, I've got to purchase the snake boots in the right size. I thought it said unisex, okay? I should know better that when it says unisex, always go with dude feet, okay? When it came here, it said men's 8 medium, and I'm like, oh crap. I'm like, maybe I'm lucky. Maybe I did get it right. The box is just wrong. So I took the soles of the shoes, and I'm like, no, it's an 8 min. It's like 3 sizes my feet. It was huge. I'm like, oh no. So the good news is I did drop those off today to be sent back, and I can't wait to get mine in. So the good news is I'm not going to be, when I get to Tennessee, I'm not going to be searching. So the boots are not going to necessarily be needed on this trip. But you guys know how many times I go out in the woods. I stepped on a snake. I about died. I was live when I did it, but it was on a leisurely trip. I was with my friends, you know, and we were just in North Carolina, and we wanted to get away and go to a public park, and we were walking, and this park was so cool. It was so stinking ominous. And I'm like, this has the Cape Fear vibe. And I'm like, I want to come out here at night. And then I step on something squishy. And I'm telling you, it doesn't click right away. Like you're looking at the snake's looking at you, and you still don't realize you're looking at a snake, and a snake is looking at you, and you're sitting on it. You're standing on it. I'm like, ah! And look like a copperhead. I'm just jumping my feet. I'm like, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. And this is all live. This is all live on this channel. And I thought I was a goner. I thought I was done. I was cooked, I'm not. So, there is things that threaten the lives of people, and they're called snakes. So they're the only security threat here on these streets, is the point I'm trying to make. They almost got me. Almost got me. That's a real story. That is a real story, even though I turned it into a more of a not a real story. But if you guys want to watch that, I think, was it North Carolina? I was pretty sure I was in North Carolina and when that happened. And so, long story short is, I will never live that down. Even my friends, every time we go anywhere, they try to take a stick and, get at my feet, to make me squeal and scream. Good gracious. But anyways, I have stepped on there. Then when we were in Chatham, Georgia, which I would have never, at this leisurely walk, I would have never put my boots on because I wasn't thinking. I should have been more, it was a natural park. I had to think that there would be some type of snakes. It was just an innocent little water snake. It didn't try to strike me. It just kind of looked at me and it's like, will you get your foot off me? Type of thing. But it scared the crap out of me. And, but it was a pretty cool park, and it did have an ominous feel to it. Man, I would have loved, if I didn't step on that snake, I swear I would have been back there getting some nighttime filming for some B-roll. Because, we do some creepy stuff, in some of these cases. We go into some creepy places, and having some ominous B-roll would be pretty cool. But I kind of blew that for myself because I don't think I'm going back there. But then there was Chatham County. We got the four-wheeler. No, I think it was before we got the four-wheeler. We were trying to go back and see what was in the backyard, or not in the backyard, but in the back behind Leilani's house. It was an open field. And about you take 6 inches in, and it was just, there was so many rattlesnakes in that area. And I remember, had I not pulled Dolly back, Dolly would have stepped right on a rattlesnake. And that's when one of the people got a dirt bike, not a dirt bike, a four-wheeler, loaned us a four-wheeler, and we were able to go back there and look. There was nothing back there but a crap ton of snakes. And there's been so many times that we've been in situations like that, whoever I'm collaborating with or whatnot. So it is what it is. I hope everybody's doing well. Sissy, it's nice to see you. Grandmother snakes don't scare me, but a female red wasp will make me cuss like a sailor. Boy, it hurts. Yeah, I'm very fortunate. We have a lot of different kind of wasps and bees in the state of Florida, and it's very seldom. Like, I was just worried about, because there was a mahogany wasp out there, I guess getting pollen. And it was on some of the flowers. I could see it, and I'm very thankful it didn't attack the puppy. But it got pretty close to the puppy, but it wasn't trying to be aggressive, which is, usually what mahogany wasps do. They're aggressive. They're an aggressive breed. But so I must have a nest somewhere around this house for them to be in the yard. And it was only like one, I think maybe two. But I think I only saw one. But I couldn't recall if there was something else flying around. But either way. So guys, I hope you guys are doing well. The Bullhorn Betty security threat is here in living color, right? Hi, the criminal that I am. I'm making chicken and potatoes and dinner. It's going to be so good. So good. A 5 nothing. Such a security threat. I don't know what's going on in New York State, but man are out. Wasp mean for some reason, huh? You got wasp there? I don't know. What part of New York do you live? Do you know that there for the longest time? This sounds so ignorant, but it's a true story. It's a true story. You look at New York and you think of New York City, and you think the whole city or the whole state is like that. I don't think, because when you look at the map and you see New York in conjunction with, like, say, Florida, I don't think you realize how much country land is in New York. Like, I thought the whole state was basically one big city. I didn't know. I didn't know until I drove through it. And I think it was Albany I was driving through, and it was really, really pretty out there. Hey, Karen, it's nice to see you. I just got 8 alive, but no, I can't stand no-see-ums. Those things drive me nuts, and you can't see them. That's why they're called no-see-ums. They just bite like fleas. They just bite like fleas. How's your car doing? The car's doing okay. I mean, it's just getting old. It's just getting old. So that's really it. You know, I mean, it's creeping on 200,000 miles. And it's had a lot of work. It's a little louder than I'd like it to sound, but you know, I don't have any engine problems or anything like that. So for now, it's gonna get me from point A to point B, and that's all we can be thankful for. So one of these days, right? The freakishly hot guy from The Walking Dead has a farm in New York, and you just don't think about, you don't. I would never. I actually saw a silo in New York, and I think I was like 20. I don't even think I was 21 yet. Maybe I was. Cause I think I was going to. That's why I was going through there. I was going up to New Hampshire, but I'm pretty sure I stopped in D.C. I can't remember. Was that trip or another trip? It's not like I traveled a lot in my younger years. I only left the state just a handful of times, but I don't remember. My long-term memory, the memory from way back then is not working very well. Florida has alligators. Yes, they do. My mom's community has this huge alligator. And this alligator just kind of roams. And it has never attacked a person. But you'll be out on the golf course, and this big, gigantic, enormous alligator will just strut across the course, just saying, "Hey, give me a minute," you know. And he's so big, it takes him a little while. He just But, and I'm sure he's probably past the age that he needs to be, or the size that he needs to be, but they won't remove him because it's his home and he hasn't done really anything wrong. You know, I'm sure he's eating wild something or other that's out there in those woods, but they've never removed him, and he or she has never been a problem. So sounds a little crazy, but that's the truth. And every now and again, a photographer will catch him, and he does an oomph. This big, I think it's like 14 feet long. I call him Joe Biden. Mab had a video of wildcats, and he lives in California, and on his Ring doorbell camera, you got to have him show you guys that. If you guys watch Mab, you need to have Mab show you the pictures. He gets some pretty cool shots of wildlife in his California community. It's really pretty. I got drawn in the alligator hunt this year. I get to get 3. So excited. Oh wow, you're gonna go for gator, huh? See, back in my wild child days, we wrestle with gators. And I think it's a Florida thing. I think it's a insane, stupid Florida country knucklehead game that can really cause you problems. What it is you got to jump on the alligator, okay? But when you jump on the alligator, you got to make sure you get their mouth closed, and you got to keep it closed. And it's going to wrestle with you, you know? But you got to keep the mouth closed, and you got to wrestle with it until you're done wrestling. It's gator wrestling. Very dangerous. But when you're 20, you don't care. That's the beauty of being 20. Some of us make it, some of us don't. I hear cougars sometimes and won't get out at night. Well, it was crazy because my mom, when she had Delilah, you know, it must be getting close. When she had Delilah, she said that she was out there. She couldn't really see anything because of the It was so dark, even though she had security lights, and she said she just happened to hear something that sounded four-legged in the distance, and she said that was enough for her. She went in the house. So she let Delilah do the puppy pads because she wasn't taking her out at night anymore. She's like, because that was right after she was attacked by the neighbor's dogs, and God forbid if something happened. This poor little dog, man. My mom had the dog out on the lanai, and she said a hawk came down and sat right there on her lanai cage, looking at Delilah. It's weird. Maybe it was Bigfoot. I don't know. That's how they describe us women here in Wisconsin, just like a gator. Oh, I thought I hit that. Did I not? Sorry, I thought I turned that off, but I guess I didn't. Yeah. Dinner's ready. It's going to be good. I did something a little bit different. I think I should have probably only done like maybe a half a cup. I wanted it to be a little more creamy, but I didn't want it to burn. Because usually I just use whatever comes off the chicken, but this time I decided I'd throw like a chicken gravy package, the powder stuff in there, to see if it would change the flavor, to see if I like it. I just wanted something different, you know? And so that's what I did. I made some baked chicken, potatoes, carrots, and celery, and I put onion in there. Now remember, if your husband or you don't like onion is a great flavoring. So even if you don't like it, just throw one in whole so you could scoop it out whole. And then you get the flavor that it needs to have without having the onion in the dish. But I love onion flavor. And you can't taste it. It just gives it a very savory flavor. So it sure looks very tasty. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. So anyways, as you guys know, we've been on the hunt for information related to the Sebastian Rogers case. He's a 15-year-old autistic boy that disappeared from his home, from a locked home, where allegedly only him and his mother were in. And when she woke up the next morning at 6 a.m., when she always wakes up, she went directly into her son's room and he was not there. She looks around the house for about 3 minutes. She calls her husband about 6:03 in the morning. The husband says, "Oh, look here." And she said, well, by the Chronicles of Olivia interview, she's now cussing in this story. So she said some not so kind words and then got into her car, left her home, and was looking up and down the roads of her community, desperately looking for her son as she made her way to his school to find out if he may have walked to school without shoes on. When she realized that didn't happen, her husband that was on the phone with her for this duration, about 30 minutes later into the conversation, he decides that it's time to call law enforcement from Mississippi or Memphis. We don't know where he was at that time because at 6:03 he proclaims that he was on his crane tower. However, other people dispute that fact, stating that he wasn't on the crane until closer to 7. Which means the entire time from the time Katie called him to the time he called law enforcement, he would not have been sitting in his crane, though he lied, or though he made those statements for months to people. Okay, just checking on you. You don't have to come in here. You're good. I just wanted to check on you, just see what you were up to. That's it. Sorry to disturb you. Go back to playing. Then we learned that Chris didn't request time off to go home to help his family locate Sebastian Rogers. He actually decided to stay at work and be nasty to some of the other people working with him, to the point that he was finally kicked off his job at 11 in the morning. And it's my understanding he got home around 1. What time did he get home? If he left around 11, I don't know if that matches, because I could have sworn they said he got to the house before 2. Maybe I'm wrong. Does anybody know? I'd like to what did we hear about Chris? What time? I keep forgetting. I know I asked Seth, because Seth was home by the time Chris got there, but I forgot what he said. Do we know what time Chris got there? My son guards me. One night the sun was still up and he told his dad he was protecting me from cougars. I told him the only cougar possible sighting was me. That's cute. At 1 something. After 1. 1 to 3. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same thing. But he would have been 3 hours and change away from home. 11, 12, 1, 2. So I think everybody believed it was 11, but I do believe it was 10 or 10:30 that he was kicked off. I think we went through this once before, because that doesn't bode, and I remember saying that at that time it didn't bode with the time he got home. But either way, the bottom line being is it's our understanding he was removed from the job, not request to go home because of his missing son, which was a little odd for many of us. Like, why wouldn't, if you knew your son was missing, why wouldn't you request to go home to be with your wife? Remember, he's talking all about how this is his family and he's the protector and he needs to protect this and he needs to protect that, you know. So we definitely want to know if that's, you know, why he would wait until he was kicked off for a poor attitude versus just going home, unless he actually went home, requested time to go home and was denied. You know, if that was the case, then that would explain maybe why he had a bad mood. But I don't think that was the case. I don't recall anybody saying he requested any time after he found out the details. Like, he was just going to work the whole entire day if they would have let him. I just don't understand that. Not to mention he left 2 days later for 17 hours and spent the night in his RV, allegedly. But I've never confirmed the date that he was there, because I don't think it was the reason why I said that is we know that there was a 17-hour trip to go get his camper, but we don't know what date that happened on. People keep saying it was 2 days or something like that, but Seth was in the house for 3 days before there was this fight was manufactured by Chris, related to the GoFundMe that Seth's sister had set up, right? And so he was there for 3 days, pushing it to Wednesday, and he left. In this argument allegedly happened in, I believe, the evening time or the later afternoon time, 3 days later. But if you listen to Miss Bobby's interview, she talks about Chris, her driving around and going back, and she was pointing at the house, and then she was driving, and all of a sudden a guy came out of nowhere and stopped her dead in the road. And that was Thursday evening at 6 p.m. So we have an account of Chris being there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and also being present Thursday in the evening for when Miss Bobby was talking about this. So I always thought, and then when you listen to the Nancy Grace interview, he said, I got permission and scheduled the day when I was going back to get my camper, or something to that effect. And that was stated, I believe, on the Nancy Grace interview when he was explaining that. So it sounded like he actually spoke to a law enforcement person to tell them about this. And since he said scheduled time, it seemed like they had made a date. And I think it would have been Friday or Saturday that he would have done this, as opposed to 2 days after it. But I've tried like heck to corroborate that aspect of the story, and I just can't definitively. We know he had a 17-hour trip, but see, I'm one of those people that are a stickler for details, and I want to know the specific date. And I keep hearing a lot of different dates. And none of them make sense if we look at the facts, because we know that Seth factually was at their house for 3 days until Wednesday evening. He said Chris never left during the whole time he was there. Then we have Miss Bobby. So, I mean, the only thing I can think he could have done would have been leaving late Wednesday and came back early enough Thursday. But if you hear his story, that wasn't the case. He ended up staying overnight and coming back early the next morning, according to his statement. And I can't remember which interview that was that he explained it. So that wouldn't bode in with it, because it wouldn't calculate out to the 17 hours. So I don't know. I really don't. Wannabe Sleuth and Betty, are people really not aware of how easy it is to alter text and even messenger messages? Yeah, but not only that, but people are manufacturing stuff. But altering it, yeah, you can alter it, but there's still a record, like a forensic, forensic data guy can see those alterations. But on the face, yes, they can absolutely be easily altered. Chris and Katie's relationship doesn't make sense to me. Their behavior toward each other doesn't make sense to me. You know? I'll find it in the transcripts. Perfect, Sandy. Thank you. I thought Faith was 6-ish and Katie and Chris have been together for a while. Because now I can't 100% definitively say this, but it does sound like Katie was messing with Chris and Chris might have been messing with Katie while they were in a relation. I don't know what that is, but I think she was 6 at the time they started their lawsuit. And I think the lawsuit started several years ago or something. I don't know. The whole thing with Katie and Chris is nobody knows when they actually got together. But I do know that Chris made her quit smoking. And that is a hard habit to quit. And to know that she did it for a man, what else would she be willing to do for a man? You know what I'm saying? That particular man especially. I don't know. You know? But somebody can answer that question. I know somebody knows Faith's birth date, but I don't. 3-3 camper not there. 3-5 custody hearing. 3-14 camper there. 3. So 3-3. So what would that be? The 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31, 32. So that would be 7 days? A week after he disappeared? Shoot, I've been telling people to look in their but it wasn't there on 3-3. So 3-5 was the custody hearing. So it might have been later than we thought. When was the last time that camper was spotted before 3-3? I guess might be the question to ask, hindsight. That would really help. I didn't know we had documentation on when the camper was or was not there. Huh. Yeah, if you can get a screenshot of where that was posted, that'd be awesome. You know the email. Hey, Paper, it's nice to see you. I'll find it and email it to you. Thank you, Sandy. Good morning, or good evening, Sonia, Be Betty fan, and the rest of my mod squad. I miss you. I love you. Okay. Is it Dinah or Dina? Sorry, I'm really bad at Hooked on Phonics. If he paid the RV park by the month, he would have had it to move it no later than the 29th. The first was a Thursday. He went from Easy Days to Yogi Bear. Huh. So it doesn't sound like he went to Yogi Bear until after he came back, because he did bring the camper back. And then a few days later, or a week later, him and Katie are taking off for Mississippi, which is really weird for me. Like, really, really weird for me. Like, why are they taking off for Mississippi when their son's missing? It was literally right in the middle. Literally in the middle of the search. I just want to get some potatoes. I'm getting hungry smelling that. Actually, I might as well just make a plate. You guys are just going to have to hate watching me eat with 1,000 people. I don't care. How many people are in here? 1,000 people. Oh my God. Hi, 1,000 people that's watching my chat. I'm going to eat with you guys on the phone, or with you guys on my phone. If you don't like that or it grosses you out, you might want to change the channel. I'm just saying. Because I cooked this. And quite frankly, it looks freaking awesome. So, you're going to have to, oh yeah. That's the stuff right there. I need to eat. I haven't eaten much today. You guys don't want a starving Marvin, do you? But I'm going to try the chicken first, and then we'll try the potato, and then we'll get back on to topic. So, yeah, let's explore that a little more then. Let's explore that a little more. So the easy day, so the 29th, and that kind of bowed right in with my assumption whenever I was talking about the day I thought he would leave, because it did go, I did say, because he was gone the 25th to 26th. 26th, 27th, 28th. So the 29th would have been Thursday. But no, wait a minute. Well, with the situation going on, I would have to think that they would have, I don't know if he got it out of there the 29th. I really don't. I just don't see how the heck he would have had time to go pick it up when he was seen Thursday night. But let's see that. I don't know when that fight happened. So, let's say Grace and him. Oh, I'm eating. I'm sorry. Have some chicken. It's not going to stop her from being from whimpering because I'm eating. I forgot about little girl. So you're going to hear her cry. But I can't keep feeding her table scraps, otherwise she's going to keep doing it. So let's process this through. Let's process this through. We got enough people in chat right now that we can go ahead and process this whole thing through with the camper. So we definitely know it wasn't there by March 3rd. Again, we know that Chris, let's calculate this. Seth said evening time. What does the chat believe evening time is? You might be right. It might have been Wednesday. It might have been Wednesday, and he would have been back in time Thursday. No. That can't be possible. Seth said they got into the argument, I believe, in the evening hours. That means he wouldn't, for 17 hours, that means that if he would have left at, say, 7, and it's a 3-hour, he would have gotten home, so 7. So that means 7 to 7 would be 12 hours. So he would have left there by Do we know what time he made it back home after the 17 hours? What time of the day it was? That might help us get the timeline. After 6? No, it was definitely 6 or 8. In the morning or in the PM? My doggy has... Yeah. No, it's older. 6-ish to 9-ish. Do we know when he came back? Because I could have sworn when Chris was talking about him coming back, he basically said that he went to get his camper. It was no big deal. He scheduled this, got permission, and it was, he went and picked up the camper. He had to pack it up, and he just stayed overnight and came back home early the next morning. I could have sworn I heard him say that somewhere. Do you guys remember him saying that? My money is on 8 days after it was scratched, marked. And yeah. I think it was around, you know what? You guys might be right about the 3rd. The 2nd or the 3rd. I bet you he might have had a prorate, or that was probably the urgency on why he had to go back and pick it up, is because he was over his allotted time. But he had the interview with WSMV, the green shirt interview, the one that we dub as the green shirt interview. He had that, and that's where we saw the scratches. And the scratches appeared to be fresh because there was no retting or, real. We could see some bruising on the arms, but it wasn't really defined bruising that you would get from the healing process. So that could have happened in that 17 hours prior to that interview. Possibly. Oh, hey, Seth. It's nice to see you. I'm eating dinner. I hope you're having a great night. If you were in Florida, you'd have a piece of chicken and some potatoes, and it's really good. Sounds like everything's ready. Ready to rock and roll on the 24th? Afternoon, Miss Betty. Okay. So it was the after. Then maybe he did have time to get there. In time to be back before, or for Miss Bobby on Thursday evening. So if it was afternoon and he went, now that would be helpful. So that falls right back into the amount of time that I thought here. That we might have to look at that. Because if they got into this whatever, and that was afternoon, then he would have had time to, and that might have been the reason for the argument. He knew he needed to leave. He knew he needed to go get his camper, and we know Chris is a jealous you-know-what, and he probably didn't want you in the house with his wife by herself. And so he concocted this stupid argument over something really stupid and silly. I don't know. That's what I think. Because I still can't figure out why he would even care. It just seems like a fight to fight type of argument. All my dogs eat human food. I need to start making her own dog food. She loves green beans. She loves carrots. She loves apples. I guarantee she loves sweet potato, and to have a meat, like a lean meat, like a chicken, and you can get cheap chicken thighs, boneless, skinless chicken thighs to cook down. I mean, I don't see, I paid like $20 for a bag of food, and I bet you I could probably make her a month of food, literally, for probably maybe $35 a month. Fresh homemade food that's good for her, that has no, I know what's in it. I don't know. She's going to be spoiled. I mean, she already is spoiled, if you haven't noticed. She bosses me around entirely too much. She's too bossy. I just want to let you guys know, you guys think I'm bossy, okay? She cracks the whip on Bullhorn Betty. It's like, nope, you're up. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Let's go. She did really good. We actually went out today. We went back to Walmart. She did an amazing at Walmart. Well, we went to, because I had to return the shoes, so we went to the UPS store. She did amazing at the UPS store. She did amazing at Walmart. And even when I was working on getting some paperwork over to somebody, she sat on the bed and was so, so, so good. The only time she's under my feet now is when I'm eating, like she is right now. You guys hear her? You guys hear her? Kat says, ooh, did anyone see the gross video, Jay? You know what? She's a disgusting person. She's desperate for, like many of these things, or these creators, they're desperate for interviews, or not interviews, views. And they're willing to just lie over manufactured stuff over and over again. They don't care about getting it right. She's disgusting. Well, now she knows why nobody watches her anymore. She's been getting some clickbait titles and getting some of the views, but honestly, nobody's watching her anymore. Because she is absolutely turned to trash. I remember she used to be highly respected. She's not a highly respected person anymore. She sits on her butts, doesn't do anything, doesn't give back. So she can be mad at everybody else, but you know what? She's showing her horns. I think it's hilarious. People are like, you're so obsessed with her. I'm not the one making daily videos about her, okay? Like, really? It's a freaking potato. You hear her? Whoa, whoa, whoa. You want to get up here? No? Okay, well, there's nothing I can do about that. Nothing I can do about that. Yeah, I hope you're doing well, Seth. Much love and support. This is definitely a Seth-friendly channel. We like innocent parents on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Just saying. I know not all channels are created equal, okay? They want trash and they want clicks and views, but over here we like innocent parents that fight for their kids. I don't know what the rest of the yahoos on this platform want, but that's who I like to help. I'm sending the link to your email. Okay, thank you so much, love. Oh, hey, 7-Up. It's nice to see you. Nice to see you. Yeah, we're staying strong. Me and Delilah, she keeps me on my toes. It's hard to stay angry or upset with her, Now I want roasted chicken. This thing came out so perfect. It's got the crispy little... Let me move my drink so I can show you. I'm going to hold it. You guys are going to be grossed out. But it's got... I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's got a little crispy... It's crispy on the outside. You see that? I got the skin crisped up. You see that? Oh, it's so good. It's better than fried chicken. It's better than fried chicken. And it's so juicy inside. A lot of people don't know how to cook chicken breast. And you can hear the crisp as I chew. If you want one of the best, I cover this. When I can't flip the chicken over, I cover the breast with tinfoil so the moisture stays in. But people overcook chicken breast, and you don't have to. A lot of people don't realize. And when you're not cooking it like I do, where you have potatoes and stuff, flip it upside down. Cook it halfway through backwards. It'll make all the juice go to the breast. And then you flip it back and crisp up the outside. Mm. Just saying. Like I said, I can cook chicken 1,000 different ways. I'm the Bubba Gump of chicken. My daughter made her own dog food. I think it's going to be healthier. Go with beef, Betty. Chicken causes allergies. But she likes the chicken stuff. I keep trying to feed her beef. She's not a beef eater. All of the steak treats I got, she does. Hi. Hi. Oh, come here. I'll get you up here. You want a potato? I don't have any more potatoes on my plate. Well, you're going to have to let me get you up here. Come on. Come on. Come on. She's going to make me change. We're almost to the end of this. Aw. Oh, that's so sweet. Well, I'm glad. We know you need prayers. I pray for your strength. I pray that your strength, I just pray. You're always on our thought and mind on a daily basis. They are so nutrient powers you can add to homemade food. Okay, that's nice. I made rice with chicken broth over it. They love it. Well, she definitely loves chicken. I never get this attitude out of her unless I'm eating chicken. But in all fairness, I got to be careful because I did something that I shouldn't have done today, and I'm fine with it. I gave her a fattening McDonald's burger patty. I sure did. She's been so good, and I wanted fattening McDonald's, and so I got her a hamburger patty. I don't know if that was the best thing for her. All right, come on. I'll get you out of here. Come on. Come on, pretty girl. Whee. Don't want you missing out. I'm done with the chicken. You're not going to have any of my chicken. Oh, but look at that. I got a little potato left. There you go. Just in my fingers. Here, you can have a little potato. Did anybody tell you that having a puppy is like having a kid? You have no privacy. You're up late at night. You wake up early in the morning. Why are you spitting it out on me? You got it down my bra. I know it's not the chicken. That's what it is. She doesn't want it because it's not the chicken. I'm not feeding her any more chicken. She had a hamburger. You're right, BHB. If you feed her every time you sit down, she'll expect it every time. Yeah, I won't feed her like this because I was on a live. I just threw on some on the floor, but I won't feed her unless it's in her bowl. I don't want her getting like that. I don't want her getting like that. I love how in the group someone cited whatever as a source for evidence. I almost choked. Yeah, these criminals on these streets, they're not sources of anything. They make up crap. They spread bunk information. Nothing they ever say ever pans out or is ever right or is ever found to have any factual basis whatsoever. You know why? Because they're a bunch of criminals. There's criminals on this platform that actually have changed their life, and there's criminals on this platform that have not. Okay? They're the haves and the have-nots. Okay? And the have-nots are over on the other side of the track. So, if you go over there to the other side of the track, please proceed with caution. That's all I'm saying. Oh, yes, I have 2 big German Shepherds, 3 Chihuahuas, a Shih Tzu, a Jack Russell. Oh, good Lord. We write Sumner County. Thank you. We need to write the mayor. We need to get, you know what? Brian, I might reach out to you and Krista and maybe plan a mail campaign and maybe some form letters to see what we can come up with. Maybe we'll have a little, like, I don't know, a work group or something like that for the people that would like to, help drive some of the stuff, So, anyways, guys, Let me go feed this rascal. Thanks for hanging out with the biggest security threat here on the streets of YouTube. The biggest security threat on the streets of YouTube. You know what? If you've done something to a child or you've harmed a human being, I am absolutely 100% a security threat, because I will go over your entire case in living color. It's a public case and I have a right to do it, right? Chris and Katie, it's my belief they've done something. I have every right to have my beliefs that I do, and it's based upon the information that we do. And at the end of the day, if this is really harassing to them, again, all I have to say to them is change the channel, because you're never going to change my mouth. God bless.